live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. This is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
And good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you may be on this big blue ball. My name is Walt, and it's Runway DFW live on Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. And we have a very special presentation for you today. You may have wondered what the heck is going on when we say Alien Day here at Runway DFW. And it's kind of hard to explain. Let me see if I can help you understand what Alien Day is. You know, our signal is going out, beaming up by satellite into the heavens, but you know, it goes beyond Earth. It goes into the universe. And we don't know who or what might be listening to our broadcast right now. We just have no idea. And so, we're dedicating this show to anyone who might be listening out there where we don't know who's there, what's going on. We just don't know. So, aliens, if you're listening and you have your incredibly superpowers that surpass the speed of light, and you're intercepting our broadcast right now, you can communicate with us by adopting the persona of one of our users in the chat room. So all you have to do is type in the word alien and then type your message and we will respond to it. So we'll tell you what's going on here on the planet Earth. We'll tell you about our transportation system and how it works and how it's so inferior to yours. All coming up today on Alien Day here on Runway DFW. So is it time to look at planes? Here we are at DFW Founders Plaza. The wind is blowing from the south. It's a comfortable 84 degrees. Pretty cool. And we've already got our first takeoff here. And aliens, this is what we call an airplane. Very primitive compared to what you're used to, of course. Not only doesn't it approach the speed of light, it doesn't even break the speed of sound. But there it goes, off to a city we like to call Los Angeles. Delta Flight 732, an Airbus A320. And again, there is DFW Founders Plaza. You'll see on the right-hand side of your screen flags, which we Earthlings use to symbolize something, to represent something. In this case, it's to represent the cities of Dallas and Fort Worth, and also the state of Texas, where we're in, and the United States. And there, just in the background, is the city of Dallas, one of the two major cities served by this airport, where we launch our craft to other cities around the world. And there's one of our primitive radar towers, which keeps track of the airplanes in outer space. So good morning to everyone. I think MJ Scanlon was the first to join us this morning. Thank you, MJ. MJ Scanlon, who we noted on a previous broadcast that he is the photographer of a stamp, of a United States postal stamp of celebrating the Mississippi River. Somil Bhandari, good morning to you. Thank you. Marcy M. saying good morning from Orlando. We have John Walton, Next Generation Music. Morning all from Manchester, England. I guess it's still morning there for at least another 30 or 40 minutes or so. Shaban Manning, good afternoon, Walt. Good afternoon to you. And H.G. Williams says, alien. Dang, you found me out, Walt. I've been listening from Vulcan. And I can make the Vulcan salute. I know not all people can do that, separating their fingers that way, but and an alien has subscribed by the name of Charlene Dawkins. Well, we're about to see our first arrival of the morning. And again, to you aliens, this is coming from another part of the world. In this case, it's Lawton, Oklahoma, which is about not very far from here, really. But it does kind of look like an alien there, doesn't it? It's American Eagle, what we call American Eagle Flight 3592. And the aircraft is the Embraer 145. And our primitive lens technology not letting us stay in focus this morning. It's coming up to sunrise, and as you may know, if you've been studying our planet, you aliens, we only have one sun. I know you may have two or three, but we only have one. But it serves its purpose. In fact, it's been keeping things very warm here in this part of our planet. What have we here? Looks like Korean Air Cargo, doesn't it? Korea being a country on the other side of one of our large oceans. It's a Boeing 777 on its way to Guadalajara. And it's commonly referred to here as the Pepsi plane because of its logo's resemblance to a popular soft drink. There behind this plane, you aliens, is a terminal which we use for passengers to get on a plane and to deplane. And if you're wondering why we use the word deplane, I can't explain that to you. We just use it. We're going to look at another plane at this time. It's Alaska Airlines, named after one of the states of the United States. It's going to another city called Seattle, a couple of hours away by this primitive jet conveyance. And you're probably wondering, why do we get in these tubes with these long wings on them and go to other cities when we can just hop in a chamber, as evidenced in your popular culture, have your molecules disassembled and then reassembled at the other end? That's a good question. And the answer is because we haven't invented it yet. It's just science fiction. So there's that Korean jetliner on its way not to Korea but to Guadalajara in the country of Mexico. And this is what we call a heavy jet. It's a Boeing 777, and that's because it's one of the bigger aircraft that we fly. This one's for cargo, but there's another one coming in right now which is for passengers, and it's called a Boeing 789, or what we call a dreamliner. It's coming in from Maui in the state of Hawaii. There it is landing, and now we're going to take a look at this Korean air cargo jetliner on its way to Guadalajara on Alien Day here on Runway DFW. And if you're just joining us, the explanation is in the description of this broadcast. We're just considering the possibility that alien beings may be watching this broadcast right now from another galaxy. So we're just letting them know what's going on here on Earth. Another big plane coming in. This is arriving from Mexico City. Another 777. And as you can probably see, that was a Qatar cargo plane. coming in from Guadalajara. They're lighting up the sky. Behind it is an array of antenna which we use to broadcast entertainment across North Texas. And somebody's playing along. Alien transmission from Earth, good so far. See, I knew that they would have the capability to transcend the speed of light, which, you know, we just haven't figured that out yet. So they can be watching from light years away and yet communicate in real time with us. It's uncanny. Well, we're going to take the opportunity to look across the way here at DFW Airport to the east side, where this regional aircraft is coming in. It's an Embraer 145 from College Station in Texas. Only been flying for about 35 minutes. And it's going to land on the east side. We will not see it land because it's going to go behind some buildings. Past the giant flag and the radar setup. Past the skyline of Dallas. And it's gone. Yeah, it would be kind of cool if we could just transport ourselves by scrambling our molecules. Here is the large Terminal D here at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, the international terminal from which planes destined for overseas take off or arrive and are dispatched from. John Kelly Grant says good morning from San Jose, California. Chris Tucka says time to take my pupper for a quick walk. 4:30 a.m. walks are a must when it's 107 degrees today. That's Fahrenheit, of course. Be back in half an hour or so. Tell the aliens to wait if they show up. I'm sure they're very patient. You know, they're far advanced from us, and they have great patience, which we do not share. And it is Alien Day. That's what I feel like when I need a coffee. Graham Cracker says this is very scary. It's not. Don't be scared. Do not be afraid. We come in peace. Here we have something we're gonna. We talked about a couple of times before, but we've never shown it. And so here we are at DFW Founders Plaza. Here, right in front of us, is a worker who's placing a mosquito trap. He's setting it up there. And that is to see if any disease-carrying insects are ranging over here to the airport. And that's how we stay safe here at DFW Founders Plaza. The camera's a little tilted, isn't it? We're not really on a hill here. I just didn't set that up quite right. Roger Rabbit, beam me up, Walt. I wish I could. Wish I could beam everybody up. What would happen if, you know what? What if we were real conspiratorial and they actually had invented a way to teleport things, but the airlines have blocked it so that we won't use that. I don't know if I'd trust that anyway. Here comes another aircraft. This one's from Alaska. Anchorage to be exact. It's American Airlines Flight 817. And it is also coming in on the east side of DFW Airport. And there is a parking lot. Well, checking the skies in front of us now, it looks like we won't be seeing another plane for another couple of minutes. Pardon that noise there. When American Flight 1098 comes in from Kansas City. The lights are always beautiful at this time of day, before sunrise. And we did see a couple of UPS MD-11s, the old tri-jets, come in as we were setting up this morning. Yeah, I'm trying to get a picture of one of them right now for you. There it is. And there's no 747s over there at the UPS cargo facility. There are 1, 2, 3 of these tri-jets. And then back there in the background looks like a 757. And we should see another few UPS planes come and go before we depart here. In about 2 hours and 20 minutes is how long we've got left. And that looks like an American Airlines 737-800, which is, I think, either coming from the hangar, yeah, it's coming out of the hangar area and headed off to the terminal for its next assignment. Oh, we have a message from an alien. Walt, today is stardate 75969.7. We've been monitoring your primitive modes of transportation for many millennia. We do, however, find your 747 most fascinating. I will concur with you, alien. That is indeed my favorite type of our aircraft, which we convey ourselves with from city to city here on this planet. Here's a bit of history from M.R. Rice. The runways here were designed to land STS flights. We always have people with interesting historic tidbits in our chat room here at Runway DFW. Another plane landing on the east side of the airport. Is that the one from Kansas City? I'll have to check that. And parking lot. Yeah, that was the plane coming in from Kansas City. American Airlines flight 1098, 737-800. And there goes a plane over the bridge. I think that's the one we saw coming out from over here a little while ago. It's going over to the east side to one of the 3 terminals on the other side of the airport that we don't get to see. Our next arrival is going to be American Eagle Flight 3071 from Shreveport, Louisiana, an adjoining state to the state of Texas. It's a Mitsubishi 701, CRJ 701ER, which has been in the air for about 37 minutes. Bit of a jolt to the passengers who may have been napping. And we'd like very much to acknowledge a $5 super chat from Marco Hinton, who said, I see a few days ago the Korean Air 747-8 Intercontinental made a rare appearance at DFW. That is news to me. I wish I had seen that. Was it a diversion? I don't know. I would love to have seen that. That's one of the... I've never seen that model of 747. We only see freighters in here currently. So thank you for that super chat, Marco. Appreciate it. It helps us power our little enterprise towards our next goal of 6,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were just about a little more than 50 away from 6,000 subscribers to Runway DFW. So at the same time, we have to acknowledge our pals at Airline Videos Live, Kevin and Rudy and the gang, who just went over the 400,000 mark. Whoa. Here comes American Airlines Flight 2770, coming in from Atlanta. It'll be an Airbus A321. Our next arrival on Runway DFW. M.R. Rice says, I did see the Concorde, the supersonic plane, take off from DFW. Never did see STS make a landing. I guess that's why NASA built a long runway at Cape Kennedy. And of course, by STS, he's referring to the space shuttle. Yeah, that would have been cool. The space shuttle did come in here to DFW at least once, and I think I vaguely remember going to try to see it. I think I did. Or maybe that was over at Carswell. Anyway, I did see it once on top of the 747 that was used to transport it. Let's see if we can get a long distance shot here. Not sure what we're looking at there, but it is making quite a bright contrail in the morning sky. And Korean Air 5431 asks, what is that? And I have to tell you, I do not know for sure. I can't quite pick it out from the on the flight radar, even with the augmented reality. So we'll just have to appreciate it as being very high in the sky and making a nice contrail for us. It's our daily Polar Air Cargo DHL flight coming in from Cincinnati, Ohio. It's Boeing 767. Which has been flying around for an hour and 47 minutes. That is a 25-year-old aircraft, and we welcome it to Runway DFW and to you. And it's starting to get a little busier here now, as you see coming into view. American Eagle Flight 5723 off to Houston Hobby Airport. It's a CRJ 901 or 900 ER. At the same time, we're watching come in a flight from Killeen in Texas. Another American Eagle flight. The sun is now starting to come up over North Texas. Good morning to you, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Next arrival is from Wichita Falls in Texas. It's American Eagle Flight 3571. Another heavy coming in now. This is American Airlines Flight 102 from the Hawaiian Islands, Honolulu, the capital of Hawaii. We'll see it after it gets from behind the fence. It's a 777. Coming in after a 6-hour and 46-minute journey is that 16-year-old 777. There you see an Airbus A321, American Airlines Flight 524. That one's headed to Los Angeles. That is one of the newer planes we'll see today. It was delivered in March of this year. Airbus A321-253 NX. Pull out for a second to watch this incoming flight from Wichita, Kansas arrive. Our first minibus of the day. Buttery, I would say. And we've got the sunrise going on here at DFW over North Texas. The sun is coming right behind the radar tower today. Coming in from Manhattan, not Manhattan, New York, but Manhattan, Kansas, is this American Eagle flight. CRJ 701, I think. So yeah, I was hoping to go with this this Alien Day concept here on Runway DFW today. The concept was that we're broadcasting our signal from Earth to parts unknown. And so we're letting the aliens in our viewing audience know all about Earth and our primitive aircraft and our transportation systems. And if any aliens would like to intercept one of our regular viewers in the chat room and just send us a message, no, that would be acceptable. They have the power to do that. An alien coming in by way of H.G. Williams says, I must share one thing from the future. Beware of the man called Khan. He is not to be trusted. Live long and prosper. Not sure. I think Khan may be the HG may be the only one who kind of gets what we're trying to do. That's okay. It was a crazy concept. That's an Airbus A321 coming in from Oklahoma City. In Oklahoma. Where else? But of course, planes that come in from Kansas City are coming in from Missouri, so figure that out. Here we have for you an American Airlines plane which is not showing up on my radar. Now it is. It's American Flight 524. Airbus A321 on its way to Los Angeles, California. for you Earthlings who may be wondering whether we will be seeing the A380 Super Jumbo today. Not on this broadcast. We will be gone by, in about 2 hours from now, we will be off the air. The A380 flight by British Airways from London Heathrow should be taking off during the time we're on the air, but unfortunately we won't be here for it to depart, or to arrive, sorry. Getting a rare Detroit arrival here. American Flight 1108, Boeing 737-800. I say rare here because this would the Detroit flights would typically arrive over on the east side of the airport. Not a given, but generally the flights from eastern destinations land over there, and western flights land over here. Here comes a UPS flight over the bridge, which had come in from Houston a little bit ago. Houston Intercontinental. And now it is headed over into the UPS depot just adjacent to us. That aircraft is American Eagle Flight 9861 on its way to Waco, Texas, at Embraer 175. Getting ready for its departure instructions. Plane Spotting Adventures. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Korean Air 5431 wants to know how long will you plan on streaming today. It's 7:07 local time here, and we'll be going to just right about 9 o'clock when I have to pack things up and go to work. So we'll be on for the better part of 2 hours from this point. Good afternoon, Walt. Hi, everyone from Waters. Good to see you, Waters. And another regular, Durrani T, coming in from Saudi Arabia. Hello and good afternoon to you all. And we have Going Slightly Mad. Good morning, afternoon to all. Well, we're still waiting for this plane to take off. To take off. So we're getting a plane from Cleveland. American Flight 525, 737-800, arriving from Cleveland. And again, that's a plane which we'd normally see on the east side, but they directed it over here. And here's that UPS 767? Yeah, 767 that we saw a little earlier, coming in from Houston.
1999.
Yep, that plane dates back to 1999, 22 years ago. And here it comes to its parking space at the UPS cargo hub adjacent to us here. So I always like to get a nice close look at these planes because this is as close as we get to aircraft here. We're kind of far away. Founders Plaza is a great place to watch planes, but it's not like you're right on top of them. And Marco said, I sent you an answer about the Korean Air 747-8 Intercontinental, which came in on the 10th, but you didn't see it. It wasn't a diversion. So no, I'm afraid I didn't see your earlier messages, Marco. Let me look back and see if I can scroll to it. Well, I do see your super chat. $2. Thank you, Marco. It was no diversion. It came in on the 10th. So I wish I had been here to see that. But I wish I knew more about why it was here and if it's going to come back. I would love to have seen it. That plane you see there, rolling down the runway, just came in from Chicago. American Airlines Flight 1435, a 737-800, and taking off now. That was off to LaGuardia, another destination. LaGuardia, excuse me, LaGuardia Airport in New York, another destination we don't often see takeoffs from over here on the west side. That was Flight 1435, American Airlines. And there's United. There's a minibus. It's on its way to Chicago. Why do I get the impression that's one of the older aircraft in United's fleet? I'll check it in a minute. That was American Airlines flight, American Eagle flight 4106 coming in from Harlingen, Texas. That United flight to Chicago. I was kind of right about that. That's a 24-year-old aircraft, that A319 was. You have to wonder if they haven't repainted it in the current livery. You would think, well, maybe that's been floating around in their inventory for a while. Bear with me for a second. I've got to switch where our program is being recorded to, if I can. Well, that Spirit aircraft you see that noise. It's going to Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A320. So we've got a couple planes there. One is it's an Embraer 145 American Eagle Flight 3545 going to Abilene, the one that's on the move there. The smaller one is a cargo plane, which I don't have any information about. And incoming, we have a American Airlines Flight 1090 coming in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. There we have a little double play for you. I think we can give you an example of parallel landings now. This is over on the east side of DFW Airport. You can see those two planes, which I don't know if I can... They're both American planes. The one on the right is coming in from Can't tell. So we got an A319 in the foreground and a 737 in the background. So there are 3 parallel north-south runways over on the east side, and they'll quite often use 2 of them for takeoffs and 1 for landings, or vice versa. And from Bentonville, Arkansas, which we always point out is the home of Walmart, comes this Embraer 175 American Eagle flight. So Marco wants to know, does DFW get the Air France Dreamliner? We've been getting it here at Bush Intercontinental. I think I only saw the Air France come in once, and I'm racking my brain to remember what aircraft it was. Air France flies in here. It's not daily, I don't think. It's maybe 4 times a week, and I haven't seen it in quite a while, and I just can't remember which aircraft they are using on that route. I'm getting a little shade here from Mrs. Runway DFW, who is a classic trekker, but she doubts Walt even knows who Spock is. He watched Man from U.N.C.L.E. You know what? I watched both. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. doesn't age very well as a television program goes, I must say. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch, but it doesn't hold up the way Star Trek has. Now arriving from Austin, Texas, it's American Flight 1595, an Airbus A321. Is about to be bisected by a sign. Normally I wouldn't have a sign. I try to keep a sign out of my shot, but oh, hello. Well, I'm doing a live YouTube broadcast right now. Well, that's all right. Hey, we're very casual here about it all.
But there's such beautiful pictures and videos, you know.
Yeah.
I know are taken from here.
Well, we do videos, and we're live right now, and if you go on YouTube to Runway DFW channel, that's where we are. That would be great.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Have a great day, sir.
You too. I think we have a new subscriber. If you didn't hear, she wanted to know if we take pictures put them on Twitter of sunrises and things like that, and airplanes. And I guess we kind of get a little bit of all that. This is a supercargo master dating back to the year 2020. And it's a Cessna supercargo master, of course, going to Abilene in Texas. And coming in from Albuquerque is American Airlines Flight 2335. And again, we're coming to you live from the DFW Founders Plaza. They haven't turned off the beacon yet. That usually gets shut down sometime after sunrise. And there goes that supercargo master, about to embark on a flight to Abilene, Texas. It's going the wrong way. Make a right turn. There you go. It's getting to the squinty part of the broadcast where the rising sun, unobscured by clouds, is beaming down on us. But, you know, at least unlike on a lot of those alien planets that we've been talking about, we only have one sun to worry about. They probably have 3 or 4. And now we've got Twilight Zone and Star Trek talk going on in the chat room. Going Slightly Mad is a fan of the Twilight Zone episode called To Serve Man. And even though that episode is probably, what, 60 years old, no spoilers. I said no spoilers, Mrs. Runway DFW. Hello to you, Mary Robinson. Good morning from Runway DFW and DFW Airport. Marco Hinton is saying Spirit will soon be JetBlue via merger. Yes, that's if the regulators concur with that get-together. You know, if they approve it, then I guess that will be the end of Spirit, I would think. I can't imagine JetBlue would continue on with that. And Bill called him, I was a little late getting to the stream. What's with the alien? Well, it is Alien Day, Bill. And what we're doing is, as part of our broadcast, we are kind of acknowledging that our signal may be being received right now by extraterrestrial beings who are far advanced to us, and they wonder what this primitive thing that we're doing here is. And we're welcoming any comments from aliens who might want to intercept one of our regular chat room personnel and ask a question or make a comment. And I don't know if this is, I should, if this is, good morning for most. I'm an overnighter. I'll be falling asleep to the Runway DFW stream. So I guess I'll speak in quiet tones. We'll be very calm. We won't say anything that will upset you. I mean, you know, if he's got to go to sleep, he's got to go to sleep. Good morning to you, Nabila.D. Hello to you. That is the DFW Founders Plaza you're looking at. And we're looking at that because there's nothing happening aircraft-wise right now. Bill Caldham says, being from Arkansas, I've been looked at like I'm an alien. And Bill Platt is clarifying his comment of earlier, saying it's a compliment, buddy. It's relaxing. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And we now have acknowledgement from London, coming in from London right now, far across the ocean, that the British Airways British Airways A380 Super Jumbo has lit up on the radar, and so it will be making its flight today if it takes off. It hasn't taken off yet. And that's scheduled to get in here about 5 o'clock local time here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Central Time Zone of the U.S. Well, to fill in here, we'll take a look at something that's coming in on the other side of the airport. It's another UPS flight. This is from Austin. It's a 767. And so we'll track it as it's coming in to DFW Airport on the east side. It's far away from us. Wow, it's just gone dead silent over here. BB wants to know, what's the turnaround for the British Airways A380 to depart after landing? It's usually, let's see, 5, 6, 7, About 2.5 hours, I'm saying, I would say. So yeah, it hangs around for about 2.5 hours. Mrs. Runway DFW is saying that she works early. Speaking to Bill Platt, have fallen asleep to this also. I understand. She says, I understand. She says that. And Oz Gaming 9, who also has a broadcast, a live broadcast from DFW Airport, says, have a good day. I have to go to school now. And that's because Oz Gaming is, I believe, 14 years old, he said. 14. So have a good day at school, Oz Gaming. Well, here's the only thing we see in the sky right now. And now we don't. What was that, you ask? That was American Airlines Flight 2286 coming in from Monterrey in Mexico, an Airbus A319. And I think I see Sun Country approaching. You should see it in your viewfinder momentarily. Sun Country 737-800 off to Cancun, but for some reason, usually the Cancun flights take off over on this side, but well, they're redirecting it over to the east side today, so you'll see it start to enter your screen from the right on its way over the bridge. And one reason we're not seeing something right now is because I'm listening. You may have heard it in the background. It was a sound of reverse thrusters, and that was from a 787 Dreamliner coming in from Maui, but it came in on runway 13 right, which we can't see from here. I could hear it, couldn't see it. So sorry about that. Normally it comes in right in front of us. And MR Rice is saying the electric eye on the tower beacon is not set right. Yeah, that would explain why it's still turned on and rotating. So I'm scanning the skies for activity. We have some baggage carts to show you. We have the East Tower, and here comes the UPS plane we saw coming in from Austin earlier. Well, it took a long time to get over here, didn't it? That is a 12-year-old Boeing 767. Now lumbering across runways 13 right, or 18 right and 18 left. Coming on over to the cargo depot. And it is making quick work of that journey. And you may hear some other jet noise behind me, and that's because momentarily we will be able to watch another UPS plane going out. This one will be an MD-11 tri-jet. It's not quite in our sights yet, the MD-11. Bill Platt saying, "Oh great, thanks. I heard tri-jet, now I can't sleep." I'll never miss a tri-jet since their days are numbered. And that is true. So we'll keep the camera right there. We should see it. It was being pushed back when I looked a second ago. So it's now being unhooked from the what do they call that thing? The tug. Yeah. It's now being unhooked from the tug, and it's going to be coming at us. Going Slightly Mad is urging our viewers who have not yet subscribed to do that. And I thank you for that. And we're just about 36 subscribers away from the 6,000 mark, so if you're so inclined and you haven't subscribed yet, have a go at it. I can smell the jet fuel. Can you smell it? Can you smell it through our stream? It's coming. Ken G saying, "Good morning, DFW." Good morning to you, Ken G. Good to have you with us. Sounds like Fireball XL5 back there. I wish I could show it to you. We had usually positioned ourselves where we could get a better view of the UPS hub, but I found that that particular position was getting pinged by radar, and so our picture would have this disruption in it on a regular basis. So I had to kind of move over around to the other side here of Founders Plaza, which is the viewing area, and it seems to have a cleaner picture. And Ben Slim 78 just subscribed. Thank you, Ben. Simon Alexis Montes Martinez also subscribed. So you are our newest subscribers as we approach the big 6,000 subscriber mark. Thanks to all of you. And we should be able to see it just momentarily here. Hang on. It's a-coming. It's rolling. We don't have a Queen theme for this one, like we do for the 747. I've got to come up with a good song to play when we see these tri-jets.
A blast from the past, 1991.
This one's going to Louisville, which is the primary hub for UPS flights. They'll get together and trade packages and then go on to their next destination. And there's that distinctive tail, which I never liked, but it's kind of grown on me now that we won't be seeing it too very much longer. But, you know, this 30-year-old aircraft's still flying. I just looked at my watch and it's 7:47. And speaking of 747, we should see one take off. I think it was a Cathay Pacific that came in overnight, which was scheduled to go out before we depart. So fingers crossed on that one. Always like to sneak in at least one Queen of the Skies during a broadcast and when we can. So if we have to wait around for a plane to take off, there's hardly one better than that. And we say thank you to Ray Anderson for a $5 super chat. Good morning, Walt. Really enjoy your show. Have some coffee. Thank you. My next destination after the airport, I got to pack things up real quick at 9 o'clock. Try to be at work by 9:30. Work being the nearest Starbucks, where I unpack and, well, I unpack my computer anyway. And get to work, as I am lucky enough to be able to work remotely. And of course there you were seeing a United Airlines A319 off to San Francisco. A plane that's been flying around for 14 years. And now it's quiet again momentarily. Dallas Alice says, good morning all. Greetings from Coppell. Coppell being a suburb of Dallas that is just adjacent to the airport. Luke Molds coming in from New Zealand, where it's 12:50 a.m. on Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us late at night. Luke, who is our official Runway DFW correspondent from dealing with rugby, as he is on a very successful team, collegiate team. M.R. Rice asking question only an older person would know the answer to. Who has the better takeoff sound over Fireball, Supercar, Walt? They had some great sound effects. In fact, I'm reading a book right now that my son sent me from Korea. Well, actually, he sent it. He's in Korea. He sent it by way of England, which is where the Supercar and Fireball XL5 and Thunderbirds, all those marionette puppet shows were filmed. And it's a story about the interesting history of those shows and how they got started and how they got developed and how they were able to create those incredible children's shows which still live on in popularity. That was American Airlines Flight 1632 coming in from Austin, an Airbus A319. Let me see if I can check on the whether we will indeed see a Queen of the Skies this morning by looking at the departure board. We should, within the next few minutes, be seeing the Qatar cargo plane, 777, which will be going out to Liège in Europe. That's on the docket. And this is odd. Is this right? An Aer Lingus flight to Chicago. That may be a code share. Got another tri-jet going out to Louisville. The UPS tri-jet later in this next hour. I'm trying to see if I can see that 747, but No, it doesn't look like we've got one on the departure board. Maybe it was incoming. I'll just take a quick look at that while you talk amongst yourselves. And we will shortly, I think. In the next half hour, we'll be seeing a dreamliner coming in from Seoul, Korean Air. And we will also be seeing a Japan Airlines Dreamliner coming in from Tokyo Narita. But I don't see any 747s on the agenda, so. But we are just 29 subscribers away from our 6,000 goal, so I hope if you are joining us this morning and liking what you see, seek out that subscriber button and click on it. There's no charge to you. It's free. Bill saying, okay, Walt is trolling me now with the tri-jets. What a terrible host. Love this channel and community. He's only kidding. And yeah, the community is what really makes this this channel go, go, go. Thanks to all of you who participate. And even if you just lurk, that's fine too. MRI saying, do not forget Stingray. And that's one of the other Jerry Anderson puppet creations in the supercar family. And he wants to know what's the name of the book and that I was talking about. Wish I could remember. I'll have to. I can absolutely not remember it, but it's written by someone who's got tremendous inside. He's done a lot of interviews over the years, and I think this book has been in several editions, and it's been updated a couple of times. Hans van Rietzsche, good morning from the Netherlands, you nice bunch of paper plane folders. It is a rather quiet Wednesday, though, as things go. Now, it will, I predict, get very busy in this next hour. Right as we push up towards the 9 o'clock hour, it's going to get busy. But there's another factor, and also that a lot of the airlines have canceled flights, and there's been some air traffic issues in the New York area, I think. So that may be a reason why it's a little quiet this morning. Luke is saying the aviation community is one big, like-minded, enthusiastic family. It's special to be a part of. I agree. And Nabila.D is encouraging all to like and subscribe to Runway DFW. Thank you, Nabila, for your support and encouragement. Well, it is coming up to the top of the hour. Let's see what we got here. You are watching Runway DFW in color, live from DFW International Airport. It's 8 o'clock straight up. And it's a very special day here at Runway DFW. It's Alien Day. And on Alien Day, we are catering to those extraterrestrial beings who may be listening in on our broadcast using their superior technology. And so we're just, in addition to chatting with all of you, we're chatting with them too. If they have any questions that they want to channel through our viewers, they can just type in the word alien and write their message on using their powers to intercept our own subscribers in the chat room. It's crazy. Oh, there goes one now. So there you go, Alien Day. And of course, we're live on Wednesday, August 17th, 2022, Earth time. Here we are at DFW Founders Plaza. The flags are flying. The wind is blowing from the south. It is, well, my thermometer says 90 degrees, but I think it's been in the sun a little bit, so I'll put it in the shade. It's probably more like 88, I would say. And with the West Tower in the distance, here is, that's not it. Here is our tri-jet, which I think is the one that's going to go out. There's there's three parked here, so I may be looking at the wrong one. There's one parked behind a truck over here, which you can't see. And then there's another one just over to the right, way back in there behind a fence. So we anticipate one of these will be going out later this hour. So stick around. I know it doesn't seem very busy right now. This is the world's second busiest airport, after all. But we're just kind of hurting for aircraft right now. Gordon Dabbs saying good morning from the far reaches of the galaxy. Oh, we have encountered an extraterrestrial being here in our midst. Hans wants to know, are aliens always green because they're vegans? That is a very good question. I wonder why that is. And we have a shout out from Captain James A. Lejano over in the Philippines from Philippine Airlines. Nice to have you on board with us for this broadcast. And Hans is saying flights are canceled around the globe because of staff shortages everywhere. But we do have a plane coming in now. So we will take the opportunity to bring that to you on Runway DFW live. Finally, a plane. A UPS cargo plane coming in from Tulsa. That's a 777. I'm sorry, it's a 757. A plane we do not see here at DFW very often. We don't see any passenger planes of that configuration. Oops. I hit the wrong button. Pardon me.
$19.94.
So that's a plane from 1994, 27 years old. There it is. As I said, coming in from Tulsa in Oklahoma. Not a very long flight at all. We're going to swing around real quick, see if we can catch the landing of this plane coming in from Silao in Mexico. It's an Airbus A319. And we should, in a moment, be seeing the Qatar cargo flight poking its head out for its trip to Liège, which I believe is in Belgium. So let's see if we get a double play down here. The Qatar cargo plane will be coming out from the right behind the American Airlines plane that's parked there. It has lit up the radar, moving slowly. It's going to be almost a brand new 777, just a year old, when we do see it. Somiel's got, oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Somiel's got to go. We'll see you later. Thank you for being with us for a bit. And Craig is saying that's a classic 1994 UPS 757-200 from Tulsa. Austin Swafford saying, Walt, good morning. Good morning to you, Austin. Good to have you with us. And I was waiting for that Qatar cargo plane to come out, so I guess we'll watch this 757. I believe here in the U.S., I think United and Delta still fly 757s for passenger service. There may be others, but those are the only ones I'm familiar with. But they're not a part of American's fleet, and of course American is the dominant airline here. And of course, the stretch version of the 757 is referred to as the pencil. Which, if I remember right, I think it's the longest plane that's... I may be wrong about that. Certainly one of the longer aircraft. And I've told this story before. I remember the time I was in Los Angeles, and this would have been in the mid to late 80s or maybe early 90s. And we're flying back from Los Angeles to Dallas, and I got aboard, it was at night, got aboard a Delta DC-8. And that's a narrow body plane, kind of like the 707, 4 engines. And I was just flabbergasted when I got on that plane because of how long it was. I mean, it was like you needed binoculars to see down to the end when you got on in the front. And just for the record, what we just saw was American Eagle Flight 3632 coming in from Abilene, an Embraer 145. Still waiting on the Qatar Cargo 777. But we do have finally some action going on right in front of us. It's going to be Frontier Flight 2133. As we get a flight, well, we'll first watch this flight coming in from Minneapolis, St. Paul. American Flight 2111. And now we've got a Frontier flight. This is going to Las Vegas. It's an A320. And what's peeking out there from the tail? Always have to check it out. Edwin and Eddie the Penguins. I don't believe I've seen that one before. So they squeezed 3 penguins on that tail. A view of Founders Plaza, from which we are broadcasting. There is the East Tower of Runway DFW. There is the appeal for subscribers to our channel. If you're peeking in and wondering, hey, this looks kind of cool, why don't I subscribe to it? Don't worry, there's nothing will be added to your credit card. It's totally free, and it will help you be advised when we go live. Brandon asked, do you know which way the Columbus morning flight lands on? I would say I don't know for sure. Typically it would land on the east side of the airport, which is the side away from where we are. Although, as we've seen this morning, the flight controllers can have different ideas about that. We saw some flights going out to New York LaGuardia from over here, which we normally don't see this morning. We're still waiting for that Qatar cargo plane to poke its head out. We're keeping an eye on the area where that's going to be happening. And the area where that's going to be happening is there. Craig Russell is advising us that Japan Airlines Dreamliner coming in from Tokyo Narita Airport is on final, so we will be catching that very shortly. Tim Wells is confirming, as we welcome Israel Sanchez as a new subscriber. Tim Wells is confirming that Delta and United still do fly the 757. And David Rutherford wants to know if we have any plans to do more videos at Dallas Love Field. That's kind of up in the air. No pun intended. I didn't feel really welcome there last time we were there. And, if it was just a matter of setting up our equipment and, just plopping down a tripod and plugging in a computer and going, that would be one thing. But unfortunately, we have a lot of equipment to set up. And, understandably, there are security concerns when anybody's got something that's a tripod and can be aimed at planes. And I totally understand that. I don't dismiss that at all as a concern. And they seem to be a little more concerned about security at Dallas Love Field. And, there was a lot of permits to get and insurance and everything that we don't need over here. So it's not out of the question we'll be over at Love Field again. I just don't want to get arrested. The time we were out there, I was mildly surprised because I thought, well, it's just going to be Southwest Airlines 737s, but we did see several other aircraft. See a lot of business jets. We saw the World Wrestling Entertainment private jet. We saw Delta 717, which you don't see very often. Here's the Japan Airlines flight from Narita. And so ends almost an 11-hour trans-Pacific and half transcontinental flight here in the U.S. or across the U.S. A 6-year-old Boeing Dreamliner now making its way over to the gates at International Terminal D. Naveed Mir saying, good day friends, love from Pakistan. And there's that Qatar cargo plane which we've been talking so much about. Just kind of popped right out there, didn't it? Again, this one's going to Liège on a transatlantic flight. The Qatar passenger division has 2 daily flights from the Middle East to Dallas, Fort Worth. And plus we get regular cargo flights from the Big Q. And looks like they're sending this guy over to the east side of the airport. Based on the current trajectory, I would say that's where it's headed. A minibus is arriving from Querétaro in Mexico, and it's got the Allegheny Heritage livery, if I'm not mistaken. It's an American Airlines plane, but they dress up a number of their planes in alternate liveries to honor airlines of the past which are a part of the American which are part of America's kind of DNA. Sometimes I get confused with the Allegheny and the Piedmont livery. I think this is the Allegheny. And we're going to zoom right over here to see Korean Air flight come in from Seoul. (787-9). And that flight took about a half hour longer than the Japan Airlines flight that preceded it. It was about 12.5 hours in the air from the capital of South Korea. And it's non-stop action here for a change, because here comes the UPS MD-11, the third one which we'll see today.
All the best 1993.
And we are so happy to acknowledge a super chat of $20 from Brandon McMillan. Thank you for another great stream. Thank you, Brandon. That really helps us out with our streaming expenses and equipment purchases. Thank you very much. Sincerely appreciated. Sombreros Al Rivera says good morning to you. And Bill Platt, we're keeping you awake with another tri-jet, so hang in there. I think this is the last one of the morning for us. We say good morning to the cockpit crew. Hello in there. I waved at him. Cindy Clements saying, I'd love to operate or drive one of those tugs. The tugs that push the planes around. That seems pretty challenging. I mean, I've driven a pickup truck with a horse trailer, and that seems challenging enough to push that thing around. So, hats off. Our Runway DFW hats are off to the ground operations crews who move those gigantic planes around so carefully and skillfully. There's the composure, the composition that you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. It's a garbage can with an airliner. And there's that tail engine, which for maintenance crews is probably not their favorite thing to work on, because they've got to climb up there to get at it. So it's 8:30 Central Time. We've got about another 30 minutes of aviation action for you, and typically it's a pretty busy 30 minutes in this half hour as planes start lining up for taking off. As this aircraft approaches the top end of runway 18 left. There's an American Airlines A321 bound for Tulsa, and one right behind that, a Delta Flight 2444, an A319 headed to Salt Lake City. I've got an American Eagle flight coming in on top from Aguascalientes in Mexico. So it looks like the Tulsa flight will be first to take off. And now the big tri-jet making the turn. It is next in line to take off. And it's off to Louisville. Coming in from Waco, Texas after a very brief flight. Oh no, that was not it. Well, I think I've lost it in the jumble of flights that are on the board right now. I can tell you that this is United Airlines. No, it's Delta Airlines. Tell you what, I'm losing these planes in the sun right now, folks. But this is headed to Salt Lake City. It's an Airbus A319, which dates back to 2003. I pulled off of that takeoff because I heard the distinctive whine of 777. This being American Airlines Flight 115 coming in from Honolulu. A flight of 6 hours and 47 minutes. Matt Style says, I've been away for a few weeks, but it seems you got those connection problems fixed. It would appear to be I'll give a shout out to T-Mobile, which seems to have ironed out whatever issues they had in this area. So we are happy. Things are going well. And also, I've changed my streaming software, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but since I've changed, everything's good. Now, here is our morning flight to Phoenix, which American Airlines operates on with a dreamliner, as you see there. It's flight 569. Quickly go over here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was coming in from Fargo. It's a UPS flight 9746, an Airbus A300. That dates back to the year 2001, and I'm a little puzzled as to why it's making that turn. Would normally turn to the right, but there may have been another plane in its way, so it'll kind of circle back around. And you know what I just realized? Here with just 20 minutes left in the broadcast, I wonder it seemed kind of quiet sometimes. I forgot to turn on the ATC. Silly me. So here comes that A300 coming up one of the central taxiways. Normally it would come over here to the west side to do that, but it looked like there might have been an aircraft on the apron that was in its way. A flight arrival from El Paso in Texas. This is an Airbus A321, American Flight 812. here comes that Fargo plane, scurrying back to the west side of the field. So we don't get to see too many A300s here, so we'll get a little kind of a good look at that as it comes our way. And it's headed back to its parking space in the, I guess right in front of us here. Thought it was going to go back, but it's parking in the space that we will often see the Queen of the Skies position itself in. Bill Platt says, Walt, before I forget, since you got to go to work soon, I have to sleep soon, thank you for your effort here and your non-annoying and very calming style of airport streaming. Till next time. Thank you, Bill, and I wish you a good rest. No more MD-11s. Sleep. Sleep. Yeah, we're still short about 20 subscribers before we hit the 6,000 mark. I suspect probably that's not something that's going to happen today, but I certainly do thank all of you who are subscribers to Runway DFW, because we could never have gotten this far without your support and your participation. So thank you to all of you. From us here at Runway DFW. It is a minibus, an A319. It's American Flight 2326. And it's arriving from Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, And that is a plane that dates back to the year 2000. Not quite old enough for us to have a jingle for it, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you feel about jingles. Coming in from Grand Rapids, Michigan, with the great airport call sign GRR. It's American Airlines flight 1561 and A319. What you have there is so close together on my radar. That's American Flight 1174 off to Guadalajara in Mexico. (737-800). And now coming in from Detroit. A 737-800, American Airlines Flight 2491. I'm holding my hand over my eyes to shade them from the sun as we look at what's coming to view there. And that should be American Flight 2767 and A321 off to Seattle, which I guess is not in that picture anymore. But using our tri-camera technology, we will punch it up there for you. So again, that's off to Seattle. The land of coffee, which I will be drinking in about 40 minutes after I pack all this gear up. I keep thinking I should streamline this somehow. So it looks like a very gentle turn and burn. if you heard that radio traffic. Somebody was saying they're going to need to hook up air to keep that aircraft cool. That's what I need. One of those trucks that has a giant flexible pipe coming out, spewing air conditioning. It'd probably be pretty noisy though. Let's see, we have a quiet moment here. Shall we see if we can follow in a FedEx flight? I think this is it. It's coming in on the east side of the airport. If this is what it is, it's a FedEx 767 coming in from Fort Lauderdale. I honestly can't tell. Looks like an American flight, doesn't it? Yeah, it's an American flight. So let me give that another try, because these are coming in at a great distance. I think this is going to be our last flight of the morning. So let me thank you all in advance for hanging out with us for a bit here on Runway DFW. Here's the FedEx plane. Yes, that's what it is. So again, thank you again for participating in Alien Day. I don't know that we'll be doing another Alien Day again, but we'll see. But we had fun. We got to see some interesting aircraft. No, unfortunately, no Queens today. But it was a triple tri-jet morning, so that's something. So there you have the FedEx flight from Fort Lauderdale landing on the other side of the airport, and that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Runway DFW. And at this point, I think there's supposed to be some music or something. Am I right about that? Did I get that right? I was right, there is music. Thank you again, everybody from around the world, for being with us for another couple of hours worth of Runway DFW. We will be back a few days from now, probably Saturday. Who knows, maybe another morning this week. I don't know yet. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give us a like if you would. And maybe next time we'll hit the mark of 6,000 subscribers. We're just 12 away, thanks to you. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, as we always say, happy contrails to you until we meet again. Thank you, everybody, and bye.
tuned for Gomer Pyle, next on most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.